they only see, you're only as good as what you know. I always say that in the show, on the start of the show, you're only what you watch. Kasi ngayon, the number one medium is really audio-video. Hindi na dyaryo, hindi na radyo. So, sila, they're exposed to the mediums and the platforms of entertainment that they're exposed to. Basically, entertainment. Because after all, ba't sila magpapapagod? Pagod na nga sila, gusto nila may entertain. So, manonood sila entertainment, yung broadcast naman, gusto lang kumita. Kung anong gusto nyo, bibigay namin sa inyo, isusubo namin sa inyo. Yun na nga eh.
While we are there, pare, you touch another favorite theory of mine. If I were president, I will plead to the national advertisers, Coca-Cola, San Miguel, toothpaste, whatever, yung inyong mga
Ads.
commercial, lagyan nyo ng konting value formation. Lagyan nyo ng value formation. At kayong mga gumagawa ng mga teleserye dyan, ng mga Darna, mga kung ano-ano, ang dami nating Bernardo Carpio, meron tayong kung sino-sino, bakit yung si Koke ang mga linalagay dyan?
O mga Koreano ngayon, lately, mga Koreano na nga eh.
Maria Makiling, things that will make us proud to be Filipinos. Wala tayong identity ngayon, sir.
I totally agree with you. I keep saying that too. There is no national identity. There is no nothing. But the problem nga is how and why this is the situation. Is it not because of the democracy that we're stuck with? The democracy that we say is for the majority. And now all we do, and those leaders, the capitalists, people who have the money and who are learned, kung yan ang gusto nyo, pues, sige, go.
Ayun eh.
Yun na lang nangyayari.
Exactly.
But it is the very same people you're trying to help and change, but they don't care. I have tried to talk to a lot of the people. I try to explain politics. I try to explain a lot of why Congress is a necessity, why there is checks and balances. They don't really care.
These people who don't care, anakawan mo yan,
they will care.
paano yan? Pasunog mo yung bahay yan, papatay mo yung mga kamag-anak ng iba yan, ayaw mong magkaroon sila ng konting aksidente sa buhay, they will care.
They will care. Do you think we're off now than it was? When you turn 50 and you strategize to get across to the people, I would watch your shows, your programs, and you always had a message in mind. You were always trying to promote a message. You were using strategy in that sense, as you're using the strategy of comedy. But you always had a message.
Yes.
Now, many years later, where are we? You were there, you were frustrated then.
I'm still frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm still frustrated. And it's getting worse. I think it's getting worse. Especially
Who are worse? The leaders? The people? Media?
what's happening to us is, I would call a collective fault of the Filipino people. I cannot say, kasalanan nino, kasalanan mo. Ang aking advocacy is, change begins with me. Sabihin mo, mag-change ako, siya hindi mag-change, paano
Correct.
naman gagawin
Tama
mo?
yan, tama yan.
Wala akong pakialam sa kanya.
Dapat just change.
Pero, ang gagawin natin, yung mga taong ayaw mag-change talaga, we will not punish them. We will treat them like heroes, like Jose Rizal. Put them in luneta and shoot them. Yun.
No, I see your point and why. Tama yan. But how do we really convince them? Is it education that we need? Or is it the corrupt leaders that we have or had?
Sama-sama na eh. Hindi mo may pinpoint na ito lang kailangan para magbago eh. And it's so complicated. The disease is so complicated. Ang daming approach kailangan. Everybody should do his part.
What do you think of media now? That's been your platform for years on end. I remember media to be different from what it is today. When I was young, I used to watch Charlie's Angels, I remember. And I used to watch the teleserye Flor de Luna, and the stories would come to twists and turns. It's not all love and good-looking people. It was real life. And I used to have even the reality shows in the old days. I remember Midnight Owl or something like that. And even the game shows, the lunchtime game shows with Eddie Larde. They were intelligent. In fact, they brought out a lot of new stars who could really sing.
Tsaka simple lang ang buhay
Simple
natin.
lang, oh.
Simple lang.
But it was not
Napaka-peaceful.
only entertaining, it was educational.
Oh.
Ano nangyari? What do you think media? Where do you think media has gone today?
You know, as Mr. Shuli would say, in Mongolia, we have many newspaper. Different newspaper. So we also get different opinion. Depende who own the newspaper.
Tama ka.
Ganun din. Who owns the station, depende. May kanya-kanyang enclaves na yan eh. Di ba? May kanya-kanyang ano na.
Okay, we're gonna take a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about strategies. As much as Mr. Shuli, Jun Urbano, is the character, the celebrity, who over the years has succeeded, as you have seen, in broadcast media. You have been entertained by his antics and his ideas. But basically, a message is always being brought across. Today, he comes to us here as Jun Urbano, as the man simple, and as he is with his advocacy in life, because the frustrations keep growing. This is what you and I talk about almost every other night as I come on, and many of the other hosts right here on GNN. We depict situations, we put it down, we complain about situations, we create critiques. Once in a while, we'll even show a solution, a direction. Nevertheless, the collective effect at the end of the day is our frustration that seems to be growing. We've already said that on TV many times and many times. A national identity, that's what we seem to lack. A national identity, an aspiration towards doing good because it is correct, not because it is to your advantage. The creation of a new true Filipino, an identity you and I will agree to be with, based on our heritage, because after all, we do have a history. We are rich with this. But we are faced with the frustrations. The funny part about this conversation tonight is because we are now supposed to be coming into a new era, a new president, and the promise of reform. Whether this will happen or not, but I promise you, when we come back, I'm going to introduce to you a book that Jun Urbano is just about to launch. I'll introduce it to you. As well as, instead of griping and assessing what we've already said, frustrations to be, let's try and find out where should we go, why should we go there, and how do we get there. We'll be back with you. Back, my name is Harriton Watco. With us, we have Mr. Shuli, the real person being Jun Urbano. Before anything else, as we go into the second segment, I'd like to introduce to you his book is going to be launching. It's called Sumakwel. An alamat, I'll explain it to you, or he'll explain it to you better. Let's see, how do I get the picture better? There you go. So, Jun, can you tell us about this book?
Well, this book, many Filipinos know history, which starts in 1521. According to the Spaniards,
In 1521, alam ko yung mga kanta na.
dumating sila at lahat na ng mga historical events, sila na sumulat. We didn't know anything beyond 1521. Pero si Pedro Monteclaro, noong 1907, sumulat siya ng isang alamat, isang istorya na based on historical facts. Yung mga migration ng tao, saan nanggaling ang mga Pilipino, saan nagdaan, paano nakarating sa Pilipinas. At alam mo naman, meron ding Sri Visayan Empire noong araw.
Yes,
At meron ding Sri Madhya-Pahit Empire noong araw na nag-away. Tapos sa pag-aaway na yon, may 10 datus from Borneo started to escape to find a new life of freedom.
That's how they got here.
They got here.
Ergo, the Muslim group.
Yes. Meron silang mga malalaking houseboats na kung tawagin, barangay.
Barangay.
And that's why you have the barangay unit of government.
Barangay.
This is an epic story of those people who fled the original place and landed in Panay. They exchanged the lowlands with a salakot and golden beads with the Negritos. And it is also a love story.
It's a love story. Kaya alamat, hindi straight history.
In this straight history.
Nilagyan mo ng konting storya.
But it gives you an idea of our ancestors. Like King Arthur in the Knights of the Round Table. Hindi
Yeah,
naman
Robin
totoo.
Hood.
Robin Hood, di ba?
So, Sir Lancelot.
English man ka, proud ka, di ba? Tayo wala tayong ganun eh.
Let me show you. Let's get the camera going in. The difference I'm going to show you, parts of this.